Hey, light beams. All right, I want to riff a little bit more on doing the draft copy. And you've heard me already speak about this in this module, but I want to go a little bit deeper into this and give you some examples of how you can be in that draft copy energy, whether it's business related to a specific creative project, whether it's to do with your relationships, or the draft copy of a home you want to call in, anything, any area of your life and any part of your tree that you feel like you want to start to call in fresh energy, or maybe a bigger vision, or something's really trying to brew in there, but it feels quite far away. This is the best way that you can energetically start to shift your alignment to move closer to that. It's the least overwhelming way that I personally create everything that I've created. Because sometimes what happens with the vision, we get our downloads and we're receiving the vision, or we're seeing it in its full manifestation. So we're seeing the final book, we're seeing the business, we're seeing the abundance, we're seeing the relationship, whatever it is. But sometimes from our current reality, we're like, fuck, that feels really far away. And that feeling of feeling really far away feels foreign to our body, because we're like, well, I can't see that happening from my current reality. So the draft copy helps to start shifting our energetic resistance and starts to embody that vision piece by piece, so that when we get to that full manifestation, we don't freak our shit out. We don't go, oh my God, I'm not worthy. Oh my God, I can't receive for that. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Because this whole time you've kind of just like prepped yourself for it. You've done your bicep curls, over and over again for your vision. You've flexed the muscles so that when that's here, it's just that next natural embodiment. It doesn't make you go into this overwhelm and this overdrive. You're just like, yeah, of course this happened, because bit by bit, I shaved a bit of that resistance off. Bit by bit, I started receiving for my vision, so that now when I'm receiving this, it doesn't feel like such a big deal. Okay. So this is, like I always say, I'm always going to teach this, because it's the easiest way to start shifting into your alignment and to stop staying stuck waiting for the vision to come to you, but actually kind of start to meet it where it's at and reverse engineer how you create. All right, which is really groovy. And this is really about just keeping the energy moving no matter what, because there's always a draft copy available to you. Most of the time you're just judging it. Most of the time you're just saying, well, that's not good enough, that's not shiny enough, that's not big enough, that's like, I'm still too far away. But your only job is to keep energy moving. Your only job is to do the next draft copy, and then do the next one, and do the next one. Okay. So draft copies is all about kind of practice runs in your purpose. All right. We want to always be grounding more into our gifts. We always want to be shifting our embodiment a little bit more in alignment. So I want to give you examples of business stuff and draft copies that I've personally done, versus maybe some for different parts of your tree, parts of your life that you're wanting to bring fresh energy and trim some branches on. So thinking about, if I look back to the last few years of my business, or even I want to use this academy as an example. When I first downloaded this vision, or when I first started to see or feel this vision of hundreds of light workers coming together in an online community, in an online space like this, I shat my pants, right? Like, there was no way that I knew what to do. There was no way that I knew what to teach, or where everyone was going to come from. Like, I couldn't comprehend that in my mind. It was just the feeling in my body. And I was making the unknown known by feeling it. That's how we do it. Our body helps us make the unknown known, especially when we hang out in our logical brain a lot, right? So we have to learn to trust the feeling and anchor the feeling in our body a lot more. So when I first started receiving this vision, it was a good 4 years ago now. One of the first ever group programs that I did was 4 women on my lounge room floor. That was my first ever group coaching program, was 4 women coming to my house every Sunday for, I think it was 6 weeks. I literally had a picnic blanket on my lounge room floor. I made bliss balls. I had Word document worksheets, like no shininess whatsoever. And they would come to my house and I would lead them through a meditation. We would do some journaling responses, and I would just riff on whatever the topic was. That was my draft copy. And that was the foundation of this academy, what soon grew into that. From that, I did like a little online version of that. It wasn't called the Lightworkers Academy at the time, but I was like, okay, I've done that first draft copy. And I'm pretty sure, like, just to be fully transparent, I'm pretty sure that my first group program was like $150 for 6 weeks or $120 for 6 weeks, like very different to what I charge now, because I grew into that. Okay. I let my nervous system adjust over the years to being able to receive more. So starting with that in my lounge room floor, and that was like, I didn't judge that at the time. I was like, this is the fucking best thing ever. I'm teaching. I've just had these women who are learning from me and listening to me, and I'm getting to serve and I'm getting to help, and I'm getting better at speaking, and I'm getting better at tuning into what they need and things like that. It was the best. I had the best time, and I never judged it. I never was like, oh my God, like this is a piece of shit worksheet. I was just like, I need to teach, full stop, let's go. So from there, I think that transferred to a bit of an online program, which literally was me speaking into my iPhone, recording audios. And again, I think it was Word document worksheets and sending them out via email. That was the second draft copy of starting to create an online program. My first, or when I really came into this Lightworkers energy, or like that download one day of like, you're going to build a Lightworkers Academy and there's going to be hundreds of women in this community. And again, me shitting my pants and being like, cool. A, where am I going to get the money to create it? B, who are all these people, where they're going to come from? I don't have a big following. I don't have this. I don't know what I'm doing. Blah, 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 insert all the chitter chatter. To just then feeling, okay, what's my draft copy? If all I have to do is just start to move in that direction, what do I do? So the first 2 rounds of Lightworkers Academy were draft copy versions with 6 women each. So it's funny how a lot of people can look now and be like, whoa, 100 women, like, fuck, you did that overnight. My first 2 rounds of the academy were 6 women, right? So this is the 5th round now, 5th round in 2020. So those two draft copies, I didn't have a website. I didn't have a membership site. I didn't have all this beautiful stuff that I have now in these recordings. It was a Facebook group, 6 women, and us getting together once a fortnight. And in that, I kept energy moving. In that, I remembered I just need to do a draft copy. I just need to learn what topics to talk about. I just need to see what these light workers need most support with, right? And 2 rounds of that were my draft copy rounds of just me being in the energy. To then the next version of that, the 3rd round, being ready, having the resources and knowing in myself that I could start to hold a bigger capacity because I had done those draft copies, because I had released a bit of resistance, because I'd started to embody these teachings a lot more. Because I didn't wait to go from 0 to 100 and build an academy and build a website in one day. No, I went, okay, first draft copy, 6 people, let's go. Second draft copy, 6 people, let's go. How can I make it a little bit better? What do I need to tweak? 3rd round, now I'm ready to build a website. Okay, so that's just one example of this academy and how it started as draft copies. And when I look back, coming into an online program looked like literally those 3 women on my lounge room floor. That's how I started as a draft copy. Okay, so stop judging the draft copy because it's perfect for where you're at right now. And again, just keep the energy moving. So let's look at some other examples. Even think about writing a book, right? If you have a vision of writing a book one day, books have many draft copies, right? And you look at the first draft copy and you're like, that is a heap of shit. And then it gets better and then it gets better. But you can't have the final book without draft copies. It's impossible. It's impossible. So for me, when I look back, my book started as a blog. It started as me writing a blog. And, you know, blogging's a bit different now, but that's what it was for me 5-6 years ago. Just one day being like, I just need to start writing. I just need to get in the energy of maybe one day being an author. And that's so far away right now, but I just need to start. I need to start writing. So that was a blog for me. Then it turned into just sharing on Instagram. I'm just going to start sharing what I'm learning. I'm going to start sharing my journey. I'm going to start sharing my awakening. I'm going to start getting used to using my voice without needing anyone to praise me for it. Like, this is for me. This is my expression. So that then went to sharing on Instagram. Then I started to become more comfortable, and that book like I'd keep writing, I'd be journaling. So I'd always be in that writing energy. Then I created an ebook about maybe 4 years ago that I don't even have on my website anymore, but like that was a draft copy of a book as well. Like I was just getting more and more like, what's the next thing I can do that's closer to a book? And what's the next thing? And how can I be in my writing energy even more? How can I contribute to someone else's magazine or anything like that? Like always just looking for those ways to keep driving the energy of the draft copy forward. So let's look at maybe another branch of your tree. If you're looking to start to support your health a little bit more, and a lot of us, like you might be like, well, I want to support my health, but I can't afford a personal trainer. And maybe the draft copy is that you hire a personal trainer once a month, and then that becomes twice a month, and that becomes once a week. And you just, rather than be like straight over, be like, oh no, I can't afford it, I can't do it. What starts turning the clog a little bit there? Or, I remember ages ago, like years ago, writing as part of my vision, like, I can't wait to be able to afford to get like a monthly facial or to like have some help with my skin or something like that. And just in the last year, I've started seeing someone every month. But that's because I started to see her once every 8 weeks, right? And then I was like, okay, and now I'm turning the clog on that. And now I have the resources to move even more into that, and more into that vision of I want to have someone as my skin squad, So always looking at, instead of that knee-jerk response of, no, I can't do it, I know what I'm doing. What's the first thing? If you want to do a yoga teacher training and that's not available to you financially right now, can you go to a yoga workshop, like a 3-hour yoga workshop on a weekend, and just start to be in the energy of being around a yoga community, being around yoga teachers? If you want to do like naturopathy or something like that, and you're waiting to do the qualification, can you just start to do a couple little online masterclasses, or plugging in and learning that way, like some shorter classes to get in that energy, So everything you're trying to call in, even if you're like, I want to, like, my full vision is to have like 5 awesome soul sisters, and that feels really far away for you right now, and you're like, all I got is my cat, I don't know where anyone's gone. So starting to be in that, what's my draft copy? Oh, I need to get to some women's circles. Oh, I need to have some little go to some little networking events. Oh, I need to like reach out to this person that I really love their stuff on social media and maybe catch up for a juice. I need to get to a yoga class. I need to get to this, like whatever it is that brings you into alignment with being around the people that you want to call in. That's your draft copy for that. Okay. You guys all being here right now, a lot of you have the intention of calling in soul sisters, and you're in a community now where there's a lot of women also looking for that, right? So doing the draft copy by reaching out, having a Zoom chat with someone, like connecting in DMs, all of that starts to move energy towards what that vision is before the vision is fully here. Okay. Hopefully that's making sense. So they're just some examples there, and always asking for guidance. Like if you literally sit and think about that last vision and go, okay, well, what would be like 5 steps back from that? What could I literally do tomorrow to move me closer to the energy of that vision? Okay. Because like I said, there's always something available to you. Don't just go into that story of like, I'm stuck, that's so far away, that's so hard. Just turn one clog at a time, like getting in the energy, getting in that draft copy, doing the next one, doing the next one, doing the next one. And then, like I said, the book will be here one day. The online course will be here one day. Why? Because you didn't sit and wait for it. You started to move energy in that direction. If you're waiting to finish a qualification right now, maybe literally all you need to do is start sharing what you're learning. And that's enough, because all the time that draft copy is creating a container for the next one, and that's depositing energy, and all of that starts to build and build and build. And then you look back and you're like, thank fuck I just started that. Because like, just don't wait. Like, you generate the energy, you create the momentum, you start to do a draft copy that magnetizes some support for the next one, that magnetizes people in, that calls in opportunities and alignment, but you are the one that starts the action and starts the energy moving. Okay. So yeah, maybe you want to one day have like a wellness center, and right now that's really far away. but you could hire a room somewhere for like an afternoon a week. Maybe that's like you, like, and when you're there, you're like, oh, I'm in the draft copy of my wellness center, but what's available to me right now is just to hire this for an afternoon on a Thursday and come in and do my healing sessions here, with that higher vision of I'm anchoring into one day this being my whole wellness center, you know? Yeah, maybe you want to fucking cook cupcakes or have a cupcake stall. And what you need to do right now is just start to get on YouTube and do cupcake tutorials, or take photos of your cupcakes and post them on Instagram, or like cook for your friends and ask for feedback. Like, could be anything. There's so much creative potential available to you. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And just remember that with a draft copy or with anything to do with your vision, like, your job isn't to go and get the people. Your job is just to get to work. Your job's not about going to get the people, just get to work, like get in the energy. From that, the universe can bring more of that energy to you. But like I said, don't just sit and wait for it. Like, you need to be the initiator here, and you need to go, okay, I've got this big vision. It's feeling far away. But if there was 5 versions of that, even if they look a bit shitty to you, to anyone else, they don't care. If you're pouring your full heart into something, people will sit the fuck up and listen. Okay, they will feel it. People will find you out of nowhere. If you are just coming from that full heart of like, my draft copy is perfect for now, and my only job is to show up with my full heart and commitment to this, let it unravel from there. Okay, but don't just sit and wait for it, and apply this, like I said, the draft copy to every area of your life. Like we'll talk about in module 4, prosperity. Draft copy with your abundance. Like, you don't have to go from 0 to 6 figures or 0 to fucking 10 grand in your savings, like whatever. It's like, oh, my draft copy right now is learning how to save $50 a week. Or my draft copy right now is learning how to receive $50 from my services. And in that, I start to turn the clogs on. Okay, this is feeling a little bit easier. Now I'm okay to receive 100. Now I'm okay to receive 1,000. Ooh, now my savings comfort zone is starting to shift a little bit higher, because I'm just in this draft copy of not needing to go to fucking $1 million overnight, but just letting myself ground more and more into that as I go. So if you have any questions about like trace, can you just throw some creative ideas on what my draft copy could be? Like, I've got this vision, but I just can't see what it is yet, or I can't see the first thing. Let me know so we can get you moving in that, whether it's business related, a project, something to do with another branch of your tree. Like, holler at me so we can get you moving in these draft copies and get the energy of those branches in your tree starting to regenerate and move. Yay. Okay, I hope that helped. And like I said, this is one of my favorite things to teach, and I will say it to the day I die, like, do the draft copy, do the draft copy, do the draft copy, and just get in the energy of what you want to create, because soon enough the full manifestation will be here, and you'll just be like, oh yeah, of course it's here, because I did all these draft copies. Of course it's here. No big deal. And that's the best feeling ever. So think about your draft copies. Let me know if you need help with them. Holla. And yeah, go and do a draft copy.